It's been a long time since I've been here. And this song, a young man who used to participate with the house band, Gary Lynn Floyd, and I wrote this next song. Wow, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. I'm not my story, I'm not my song. Been seeking glory my whole life long. Been on my own since I was born. A badge of less than I have worn. I've fallen down, I bled my knees, stumbled on life's mediocrities. Wordless without a prayer, or so I thought. The battles that I won, I never fought. I'm not my story, I'm not my song. Been seeking glory my whole life long. Been on my own since I was born. A badge of less than I have worn. Been judging you as much as me. Seeking surrender, haven't found the key. Beaten, battered, broken, living boo. Can I forgive myself and live my truth? I'm not my story, I'm not my song. Been seeking glory my whole life long. Since I was born, the Holy Spirit is taking form. The Holy Spirit is taking form. The Holy Spirit. Woo-hoo! Spirit in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But I probably will. So grateful to be here. Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Karen, for inviting me back. Thank you, everybody that has supported me this weekend. Thank you to one of my best friends, Patty Rooney, for putting up with me, feeding my soul. Disrupt the illusion of me, the illusion that culture has created, and how to disrupt the illusion. It's like we've all got a story. We've all got a story, and we become, well, let me put it this way. I've become convinced of it. Have been. Past tense. The straight, white, male privilege, philandering father, philandering son, alcoholic, drug addicted, sex addicted, lazy, procrastinating musician. I could have just said musician and it would have spelled it all out. The story, the mythology that I created about myself, and it speaks so much in that song. I'm not my story. I'm not my song. Been seeking glory my whole life long. Been seeking your approval my whole life long. Just love me. I used to say as a kid, if you could just hear me sing, then you would like me. Then I would be enough. I wasn't worthy just being. I didn't feel I was worthy. Difference between I wasn't worthy and I didn't feel like I was worthy. Just being. And as a culture, across the board, just my perspective, and I just wanted to frame this, that these are just my perceptions. This is what I have learned in my 63 years, almost 64 years on this planet. I had to take my hat off because I had my hair done before I came to Dallas. And it's a cute hat, but the story that I've been telling myself, it's the cultural mea culpa. It's like through my own fault, through my own fault, through my own fault. I'm, a grateful recovering Catholic. And I learn a lot of things. Like I think that we all have learned in the cultures, the spiritual cultures that we've grown up in. We've learned that so many of us, how many of you grew up in religious science or New Thought? Praise Jesus. So I think you all have a little bit of an idea. I grew up with the idea of Jesus is up here and he is the exception and I will never reach that status. So WTF, I'm going to get loaded and I'm going to try and get laid and I'm going to drink and I'm just going to, it's like, there's no point because I'm never going to reach that stature. And that is a spiritual culture that teaches us not our oneness with Jesus, not our oneness with Buddha, not our oneness with Muhammad and all the spirit, the Gandhis and the MLKs. We forget that they were all human. They were all human. They walked the earth just like we walk the earth. They had the same potential, the same infinite spirit of God within them that we have within us. But we put ourselves here and we put them here. And for me, just for me, it was just too far out of reach. And it's like, why even try? I was born of original sin, was what I was told. Not the truth. I was born of original love. I was born of original love. And I know, as regardless of the challenges that my mother and father had, that every relationship had, I know that they loved each other. And I know that they came together in love when I was conceived. And I know that I was loved because that divine essence, that infinite spirit of love said, I want to manifest myself as this young man who will be follically challenged, and I want him to go forward and be a light and be a beacon, just like every one of us is a light and a beacon if we can change the mythology and change the narrative of our life and the way that we perceive ourselves and recognize our divinity. Recognize the essence of our life. So now I may cry. Because happy birthday to my son, William, who's turning 22 today. Actually at 8:13 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be, 6:13 Pacific Time? I had to send him Stay With Me, the Rod Stewart and the Faces tune yesterday. I'm like, you got to listen to this intro. Sorry. But he texted me, and I mean, it's like for any of you with kids, and I know that I was the same way at 21. I didn't want to really talk to my parents. At 21, I wanted to go out and get loaded with my friends for my 21st birthday because I could do it legally, even though I'd been doing it illegally since I was about 13 years old. And for those of you that are not 21 yet, don't follow that. Don't do as I say, do as I tell you or whatever. So I felt seen. And I think my son pointed out the truth. Well, good morning. All the beauty just showed up. All the more beauty. Thank you guys for being here. So my son wrote, "Hi, Dad. It's my birthday, and so too, it is your birthday." Really, we both know it's Mom's birthday, but I love you so much. Thank you for being there in my life always. You are always yourself, and I know you understand how I so relate to you, and I love you. I think we have had such an interesting time getting to know one another. You and Mom, as parents, we have had such a relationship where we are so free to be ourselves and to trust each other and really know each other. You've been there when no one is looking. You've been there. You've been there when I didn't know how to look, to see. You know a deep part of me even I do not know. I hear you when you speak, and I hear that you speak to somewhere inside me you know is there. I love you. I'm so grateful. And then he wrote, when I'm sad and dark, shallow in doubt, when I'm trying my best to keep one foot in front of the other, you're perfect. You're golden. You're the light of my life. You're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection in you as me. So I actually wrote that last part. It's a part of my song, Perfect. I wanted to say that because it's like my kid saw me. And he's been seeing me. But my perception is he's not returning my texts. He's not returning my calls. It's like, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? It's a cultural thing. in my humble opinion. I'm not my mistakes. I'm not my story. I'm not my song. I am so much more than the sum of my parts. I'm an infinite space where God reveals itself in, through, and as my life, just as it does for all of us. Just as it does for all of us. There's a line in a song I did last night that it's called I Really Want to Know. And it's the idea. Where is it? What's your problem with the people who love the same sex as them? I never read a word from Jesus. I think he said, don't condemn. But the righteous Aphrodite and the sinner and the saints all believe we're imploding if hate resonates. Some will say, if you don't like it, you can go live somewhere else. But I tell you, it's my country. I seek to save the soul itself. If we ever get the story out of white and him and he, we might find the distillation that evolution's meant to be. If I die for what I believe in, lay me down on hallowed ground. It's a path I've been trudging since the day I was born. And I'm a straight white male with tremendous privilege. And it was like when I finally realized that it wasn't someone like putting me down with it. It's just a fact. It was like, oh, wow. Forgive me, forgive my forefathers. Because I've been so highly influenced by the different cultures in my life. I want to get each of our stories to recognize our divinity. So disrupting the illusion is a daily process. I just wanted it to be magic. I got to AA in 1990 originally, and I just thought, this is it. This is the magic. And then I got to Agape, and it's like, boom, this is the magic. My life's going to change. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to be fabulous, And the truth of the matter is I had to keep working at it. I had to keep meditating. I had to keep praying. My prayer treatment, on a daily basis, my affirmation. It's so understandable that I would feel this way. I'm at peace with my prosperity as well as I am at peace with my pain. I have to daily change my mind because sometimes my head wakes up about 30 minutes before me and it's trying to convince me as I open my eyes of what I'm not. And I have to take the action, the spiritual action, because I think God is a verb. God is in action. Love is in action. It's not stagnant. It's not magic. It's not fairy dust. It's the work that we do, and it's why we come here. It's why we come to these communities. And it doesn't matter where you go. I mean, it's like I love CSLDallas, but I know that there's some Christian churches and some synagogues and some mosques and some temples and whatnot that are in this community that are lifting people up as well. That are lifting people up. You go where you find what works for you to raise your vibration so you can go out in the world and be that light and be that beacon. And be that expression of God that you came to be. And it's not God out there. I learned about God out there. It's that infinite presence that is just in me, as me, through me. Use me to be that conduit of love, because we need this conduit of love to raise the vibration of this city, of this community, of this state, of this country, of this world, because we're all one. We're all one. We're not separate. And we're standing on a living, breathing being, the mother, the Gaia, Pachamama. We're living on that with the great grandfather sky. We are in this vortex of love. God so loved the world that it created each one of us to express more of itself. And we've all come through the mother, our mothers and the mother. May we honor her as we honor one another. May we do our work. May we disrupt the illusion by looking at the narrative that we have created for our own life and say, I'm not accepting that anymore. It's not the truth of who I am. It might have been what I've done. I drank, I used, I was inappropriate. In fact, when I was at teen camp, they used to call me Captain Inappropriate because sometimes there were no filters and I would say stuff and I was like, oh, forgive me if any of my teens are in the room and had to deal with that. But I love me today. I loved me enough to be here today. I loved me enough to say yes to the most amazing woman on the planet, that is Reverend Susie Lula. She's made me a better man. She's allowed me to be a better man. She's helped me find the better man that resides within me. And she's reflected back to me that infinite presence of God, of love, the universe that's within me, that's wanting nothing more than to express the fullness of its spirit. May we understand the narrative that we've created. May we forgive ourselves for the judgment that we've been holding about those aspects of ourselves. And may we do the work to release that story to stand in a new story. What's your gospel going to be? What's your gospel going to be? You write your own gospel. You change the narrative. You do your prayer work and your meditation and your classes and hang out in community of people that see the truth of you and reflect it back to you. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to be doing this workshop this afternoon. It's a little bit different take on forgiveness. Please come see me at the table. Thank you for allowing me to come here and be. I hope that you're walking away with something that feeds you so then you can go, you can pass it on. You can go feed someone else. I hope that you embrace those aspects of yourself and recognize that what appears to be a shadow, what appears to be a crack in your veneer is not only where the light gets in, but it's where the light gets out. One of the deepest, darkest secrets in my life was the fact that I had been molested as a young boy. For a long time, it was a source of shame. It was a source of pain. My uncle, who perpetrated, just passed away last month. And about a month before he passed, my sister and my mother were at the hospital. He couldn't talk. He was on tubes and not real conscious. And I said, just send him love. Just send him love. Just send him love. There was a healing going on. It was part of changing the narrative because I also realized that whatever he'd done to me had probably been done to him. And he affected quite a few people. But I know that God was within him. That infinite presence was within that perpetrator. For whatever reason, he wasn't able to recognize it. I bless us all. I bless us all as we take and turn that narrative on its head and recognize that some of the darkest aspects of our shadow are our greatest gifts that can serve the greater good. Go out, disrupt your illusion of yourself. Disrupt the illusion that culture's been telling you. And be the highest expression of love of God that you came here to be. Thank you for allowing me to be with you this morning.